My name is Ethan Miller, and I never imagined that the woman I once called my best friend would one day treat me like a burden. My wife, Laura, and I had been married for 8 years. In the beginning, we were inseparable. We'd stay up late talking about dreams, plan weekend getaways, and laugh until our stomachs hurt. But as time went on, something changed. The warmth between us faded, replaced by distance and coldness that I couldn't understand. It started subtly, fewer hugs, shorter conversations, and constant excuses about being tired or busy. I thought it was just stress from her demanding new job. Laura had recently been promoted to a managerial position at a major marketing firm, and she often came home late, her phone glued to her hand. I tried to be supportive. I cooked dinner, handled the chores, and always asked about her day. But every time I tried to talk about us, she would sigh and say, "Not now, Ethan. I'm exhausted." One Friday night, I set up a small dinner in our backyard. Candles, music, her favorite pasta. I just wanted to reconnect. But when she arrived home and saw the setup, she frowned instead of smiling. "Ethan," she said sharply, "what is all this? You know I had a long day." "I just thought we could spend a little time together," I said softly. She threw her purse on the table and crossed her arms. "You keep doing this. Planning things, expecting me to drop everything for you. I'm not in the mood for romance right now." Her tone stung. "I just miss you," I admitted. That's when she said it, the words that would echo in my mind for weeks. "From now on, I decide when we spend time together. Stop bothering me." I stood there frozen. I wanted to ask what happened to the woman who used to hold my hand and promise we'd face everything together. But instead, I nodded slowly and whispered, "Okay, Laura, if that's what you want." And so, I stopped. I stopped texting her during the day. I stopped planning dinners or asking when she'd be home. I stopped waiting up for her at night. I gave her exactly what she asked for, space. At first, she seemed relieved. She came home even later, sometimes smelling faintly of expensive perfume that wasn't hers. She spent her weekends with colleagues, and her laughter became something I only heard through closed doors on phone calls. I wanted to believe she was just working hard, but deep down, something didn't feel right. Weeks passed. Our home turned into a silent museum of what used to be love. One night, I heard her talking on the phone, her voice low but tense. "He doesn't even ask questions anymore," she said. "It's like he stopped caring." Then a pause. A soft laugh. "No, he won't find out." My heart sank. I didn't need to hear more. I went to the guest room and lay awake all night, staring at the ceiling, realizing that the woman who once promised me forever had already left emotionally. The next morning, I made a decision. If she wanted distance, I'd give her more than she ever expected. I started focusing on myself. I accepted a long overdue promotion at work, joined a gym, and even reconnected with old friends. For the first time in years, I stopped orbiting around her and started rebuilding myself. Laura noticed. She'd come home and find me dressed up, heading out. "Where are you going?" she'd ask, almost annoyed. "Out," I'd reply simply. "You said I shouldn't bother you, remember?" Her expression would flicker, surprise, maybe even guilt, but she'd quickly mask it with indifference. One evening, she came home early to find me on the phone laughing with a friend, something she hadn't heard from me in months. "You seem different," she said, her tone uneasy. "I am," I replied. I realized I can't keep waiting for someone who doesn't want to be around me. For a moment, she said nothing. Then, quietly, "Ethan, I didn't mean for things to get like this." I looked at her calmly. "You said you'd decide when we spent time together. It turns out, I just decided for myself." A week later, she asked if we could talk. We sat in the same backyard where she'd once dismissed my dinner. "I made mistakes," she admitted, tears glistening in her eyes. "I got lost in work, in attention I shouldn't have sought elsewhere. But when you stopped chasing me, I realized what I was losing." I listened silently, the hurt still raw but fading. "You didn't lose me because I stopped caring," I said softly. "You lost me because you taught me how to stop trying." She reached for my hand, but I gently pulled away. "Maybe it's time we both decide what we really want, separately." In the end, we parted on civil terms. There was no screaming, no chaos, just quiet acceptance. She moved out a month later, and I stayed in the house that once felt empty but now felt like peace. It's been 2 years since then. I rebuilt my life, my confidence, and even started a small business, something I'd always wanted to do but never had the courage for. Sometimes, when I sit on that same patio under the stars, I think about Laura's words. Stop bothering me. I smile now when I remember them because I did stop, and it turned out to be the best thing I ever did.